Example number 4. Bill has been offered the following two loan options for borrowing $9,000. What advice would you give? Option A, he can borrow at 5.04% interest, compounded annually, and pay off the loan payments in payments of $1,773.16 at the end of each year. So that means compounded annually and annual payments. Or option B, he can borrow at the same percent interest, 5.04, compounded weekly, and pay off the loan payments of $32.63 at the end of each week. So what advice would you give? First things first, I want to know how long it takes each option to pay off, and then what I want to do is I want to figure out how much interest will be earned, not earned in loans, will have to be paid in either case. So in option A, we're saying that the annual percentage is 5.04. The present value is $9,000. $9,000 is received by you. The future value is going to be 0. And the payment is going to be $1,773.16. We're putting it as a negative because it's money that's going away from you. The compounding periods per year and payments per year is 1. So let's solve for that n. So how long is it going to take? So I have, I'm going to solve for my n. My percent is 5.04. My present value is $9,000 because $9,000 comes into your bank account because that's what you're borrowing. Future value is still going to be 0 because I want to pay this thing off. PY and CY are both 1. And I'm going to solve for, oh, and I need to put in my payment. That's silly. So negative 1773.16. And I'm going to figure out how long this thing is going to take. So it is 6.0892097.8. So it's basically 6 years. So if I were to fill in this value here, I'm just going to put in the whole spicy meatball just so that we can compare later. 6.008920978. So basically, since we're making annual payments and the compounding periods per year is 1, we don't have to divide by anything. So basically 6 years. But it's 6 and a bit, so when we figure out what that interest is, we go sum int open bracket 1 comma, we have to put it to 7. So let's calculate what that interest is. So I'm going to quit this, and I'm going to go back into it, and it's just kind of silly. Scroll the way down to sum int, boop, 1 comma 7, close bracket, enter. So what we're paying here is $1,655.17 in interest. So this is negative 1655.17. So you pay $1,655.17 in interest. Let's analyze option B. We know that the interest rate is the same, 5.04. The amount that we're borrowing is the same. Payments are different though. It's going to be $32.63. The future value is still going to be 0. And our payments per year and compounding periods per year is going to change though. It's going to be 52. So when I solve for my n, let's see how that value changes. So I'm going to get back into my finance, TVM solver. This is the same, this is the same. Payment is going to be different, negative 32.63. Ooh! Negative 32.63. This is the same, but this is different. I'm going to go all the way up to here and solve for my n. Whew! So it is going to, the number of weekly payments that I make is $321. Nope, 321 point something. Okay, so 322 payments. So let's just copy this in. 321.09458804. So we do need to unpack this a little bit. So when I take 321.09458804 and we divide that by 52, so that tells us how many years. So that's going to be 6.17489 years. So it does take a little bit longer than option A. However, let's figure out how much interest. So I'm going to say sum int, and I'm going to say 1 comma, 322. Get my calculator here, quit this, get back into my finance, scroll down to sum int, enter, and I'm going to say 1 comma 322, close bracket. Whew, it's a little less. So what you're paying in interest here is $1,477.32. So you pay $1,477.32 in interest. So, I mean, if you want to pay less in interest, you would definitely go for option B. And the difference between 6.00892098 years and 6.17489 years, it's negligible. So, I mean, it's not like you're taking a ton more time to pay off option B. But, I mean, if you wanted to pay off your loan quicker, that could be a consideration. But personally, I would want to pay less money, and option B is that. Now, why is that? Making frequent payments will allow you to pay more of the principal down quickly. You're only making one payment per year here. So yeah, you're putting down a lot of money. However, during the time that you're not making a payment, your loan is collecting interest and collecting interest. Whereas this option B, you're kind of taking little chunks out at a time, so the interest cannot accumulate on it. So making frequent payments, frequent small payments will, in the long run, save you money because you pay less interest.